Okay, well, welcome to tonight's monthly group. And tonight we're going to kind of talk about coping with loss over the holidays, which the holidays, particularly this year, after a lot of us spent the holidays not around family last year with COVID, and this year, maybe you're starting up the holidays with family and maybe you've experienced a loss in the last year, or you're just kind of in that healing process and navigating that. So the holidays not only can be stressful for everyone this year, but particularly people in the loss community. It's really difficult, and it's kind of that time of year where you see a lot of people giving pregnancy announcements, and everybody's kind of doing that around the holidays. And you might have someone in your family who's pregnant, and this is the time you're going to see them, or that they're going to be talking about it, and everybody's going to be excited about it. And you're really struggling because you're just not sure how you're going to be able to get through the day, and how what should be an enjoyable time with your family and friends is now just becoming really difficult for you, and you're not sure how to get through it, and how to involve yourself, and when to say maybe set some boundaries with your time. So that's the first one. There are going to be lots of potentially, this month with Thanksgiving and next month with all the different holidays, you might get invited to a lot of different family events. And I think the first part is just saying, okay, what do I feel that I can handle? And then which ones can I set as boundaries with maybe my time? So maybe, you're going to a family's house and they're having a full dinner for Thanksgiving, and what, I just don't think I can sit through the whole dinner with them, but I do want to spend time with my family. So, what, I think I'm going to come at dessert time, and just because I want to spend time, but I'm just going to limit and set some boundaries around that. Or if there's particular events where someone there is just, maybe they are pregnant, maybe they just kind of make it a little bit more of a difficult holiday for you, then maybe those are the events that you say, what, I'm just not going to be able to make it this year. And that's okay. Just do what is within your means, and what you feel like you can get through. Don't make it more difficult than it needs to be. And then just be honest with your grief and where you're at in the process of your healing. Because grief is such a difficult thing. It's just all this packaged love that just kind of has no place to go. And the grief it's so hard to kind of untwine it and figure it all out and heal from all that. So just be really in tune with it, and just check in with yourself often, and just take breaks when you need to. If you need to during any type of event that you're at, a dinner or a party, if you need to go outside and get some fresh air, that's always good. If you feel like, okay, we just had this meal together and I'm feeling really overwhelmed and I'm feeling my grief coming up, maybe just ask one or two people who you feel comfortable with and feel safe with. Hey, can we just go take a walk real quick? I just want to kind of just get that fresh air and take a walk around the neighborhood or wherever you are. It's always just a good way to just kind of reset, but you're checking in with yourself, you're taking care of yourself, you're asking for support from family that's there, that that you can trust and feel comfortable with, or maybe your spouse, or maybe you just want to take a walk alone, which is also fine. I think it's also important to kind of think about maybe starting up a new tradition. Maybe if you feel comfortable and you want to say, hey, you know what, I'm going to bring a candle with me to Thanksgiving that I would like to light and have on the table while we're eating, in remembrance of my baby or babies that I've lost. And I just kind of want to, honor them and have them be with us. Maybe that's one way that you do it. And that's beautiful. I think that's just such a nice way. And then you're introducing a new tradition that's including your babies that maybe aren't getting talked about. You never feel like there's a good opportunity to do that, but this is just one way that you're kind of like, when you're thinking about them and you're sitting around the table, you can constantly look at that candle and think, okay, they're here with me. And I'm making it known that they're important and they, they're always with me. So that's one way that I find that's just starting new traditions, whatever that might be. And you might have to come up with something and give it a try and see if that works and see how it feels. But important to try to figure out a way that you can incorporate your babies maybe in the holidays, in maybe a way that you feel comfortable for you. And I think that's a good stepping stone to just start there. And then just figure out what your coping skills are. So just kind of take time with what you need to do if you're triggered by something or somebody says something or you're just overwhelmed. So I feel like that's really important. So that's something that part of maybe your healing work, part of just going through the process and the years after the loss, kind of figuring out, well, what are my skills in coping with these situations? And sometimes it's just removing yourself from the situation if you start to feel uncomfortable. And if you have to leave a little early, or like I said, go and take a walk, reset, come back, figure that out. And then as we get closer to the holidays, where maybe during the holidays, you have like a gift giving holiday that you celebrate. And maybe it's really important for you and for your family that you say, hey, for this year, I know we normally donate to, this place. And I was wondering if we can all donate in the name of, your baby or babies. So just a way to like include them in that. And then also just giving back and giving to other families. So just like what Cher's doing, maybe Cher's, near and dear to your heart, and you feel like, you know what, this holiday, I want to, instead of buying gifts for my siblings or cousins or whatever you might do, say, hey, we're all going to just chip in $5 or $10 and we're going to donate to Cher in honor of my children. So something like that would be just a beautiful way to kind of honor them. Something that I just did the other day is at my church, they had boxes that you could take home and fill with gifts. And I have two daughters that I lost during pregnancy. And I said, okay, well, I want to do 2 boxes and I want to pick gifts for girls, the ages that my girls would be. So that during this difficult time when you're like feeling that, I should be buying gifts for my kids, and why, it's not fair that they're not here and that I don't get to buy them fun things like this, but being able to buy for 2 other little girls that are the same age in honor of my girls. And then just being able to shop for girl stuff. That's something I don't get to do, and I'm not going to get the opportunity to do. So to be able to do that during the holidays is just really meaningful to me. So that's just something that is important to me for me to do. Other things would be like, sometimes we just need those reminders. So if you have a piece of jewelry or a piece of clothing that just reminds you of your baby and you want to wear that or have that on the day of the holiday event, it could just be just that reminder where you're just like, maybe you have a necklace and you just can hold that when you're kind of having some difficult moments. Or just something that maybe somebody will ask like, oh, I love that. That's such a beautiful necklace. And then it gives you that opportunity to say, oh yeah, I got this because it reminded me of my baby, and just gives that kind of like conversation that maybe you're not able to bring up easily, a different way to bring it up, and just to show them that you're honoring them. And if it's something specific that reminds you of your baby, that might give them an idea like, oh, you know what, now when I see those things, I'm going to think of your baby as well. And then just going into the day or the weekend or however long your events are, just how are you going to get your mindset ready for that? So there have just been a lot of different podcasts that I've listened to that have been really helpful, whether you meditate or you pray, or even just music that you can listen to that can just kind of put you in the right mindset to prepare for that day. Maybe you want to take a nap before you go into the day. just to maybe a walk, try to eat right that day, make sure you have enough water. If, whatever's going to kind of help you prepare, and then whatever while you're there, what you have as a preparation for coping with those different scenarios. So I talked about the candle on the table as one way to just honor them during the meal. And then another thing that one of the moms had done in the lost community was they had just talked about just leaving a chair at the table that no one sits in, but it's to honor all the people that aren't there. So it could be a mother, a grandmother, your babies that aren't there that should be, and that chair just remains empty, to just honor them and give them space at the table, because they can't be there. So I thought that was just a beautiful idea as well. And I do celebrate Christmas. So something that I started last year was I just ended up getting a real tree that was tiny, and I started to purchase ornaments that reminded me of all the people that I have come to meet and have learned about their loss and have talked to me about their babies and things that remind them of their baby. That I kind of went and I had a tree that I named the angel tree, and I had ornaments with the names of all the babies that mean a lot to me. So that was one way that, in honoring my own loss, I could also kind of reach out and expand that and honor as many people and their loss as well, and their babies and their precious name, and take time. And it's become a very wonderful thing, because even though it's a heart-wrenching thing to know that there are just more and more losses every year, being able to connect with the other people and their babies, and then be able to show them that their baby belongs in my house and their name visible, and that they deserve to be, part of my tradition as well. So you could also do something like that for somebody, and just let them know that you're lighting a candle for them, even if you're not with them that day, during Thanksgiving or the holidays. So that's always a beautiful way. And then if you're looking for a gift for yourself, ornaments for your tree, jewelry, pictures, just beautiful gifts. And I love this shop, and it's called mymissingpieceshop.com. I've gotten ornaments from them. I've gotten gifts for people from there. Just, they make the candles that say in memory of, and you can put names on it so that you actually have a candle that's specific to that holiday. They have Thanksgiving ones, holiday ones, just beautiful gifts. And they're just such a wonderful company. They did lose their child, so they have a really love and appreciation for honoring all babies. So that's a beautiful shop. So mymissingpieceshop.com. And I think it's just really important that we figure out a way to it can be kind of like a survival to get through the holidays, because it is so difficult. But I think we have to just really be in tune with what is going to work for us, and what's not going to work for us, and just honor that. So if you need to check out this holiday season and just say, I'm going to just spend time at home and do my own thing, and I feel comfortable doing a call or a video call or something like that, then just do that. And maybe next year it'll be different, and maybe it won't, and that's okay. But definitely find what's going to work for you, find that balance, find those people that you feel safe with, that will really be able to support you and love you. And if there are a lot of triggers at certain events that are just going to be immediate ones for you, like I said, maybe you come in a little late, maybe you just completely not go to that event at all, or you just make sure that you have some coping things to help you through that day. You have some ways to include your babies in that day, and then that you come in with the right mindset. So those are just kind of some of the ideas that I hope that will help you in preparing for the holidays. And if there's any ideas that you guys have, please share them with us so that we can share them with the community, and we can just do our best to get through together, supporting one another, and that eventually our holidays can be joyful again, and we can be able to include our babies in that, in a way that just keeps the love flowing, just because the grief can be so overwhelming. So that's all I have for this evening. Next month, for December, we're going to talk about pregnancy after loss. And the reason being, just, I think for a lot of us, we haven't really touched on that. And we do have a lot of moms in the community that are either trying to get pregnant after loss, or are early on in their pregnancies after loss. And it is really, really a scary time. I went through 2 losses before I had a living child, and it's what keeps me from ever wanting to try again. So it's that scary. And for a lot of women to take that leap and have the courage to go ahead and try again is, it takes strength that I just admire, and I'm just so blown away by. So just, we're hoping that if we kind of share some stories, different ways that maybe we can get through that pregnancy, hopefully we'll have Dr. Will be able to just kind of help and support, just being with that. She's been with a lot of moms during their pregnancies that have, after the loss, how that went, and what best ways to kind of make it through that pregnancy with a good mindset, the best we can, how to get the care that you need, the appointments you need, the scans, all of that. So next month, we really want to kind of dive into that pregnancy after loss, whether it's something you're currently pregnant, or if you're thinking about it and you're trying and you're just not sure how that's going to work out because you're just so scared. So we're just going to really talk about the fear behind all of it, and just different ways that medically we can ask for the help and support we need to get through those difficult times. So we hope that you'll join us for that. And for anyone that's attended the walk last month, we just are so grateful, and it was just such a beautiful event. And we hope that October 15th of 2022, that we'll be able to have the walk again at the same place and have just a beautiful day we're hoping for, and a beautiful night there, being that it will be the Wave of Light will be the same day that we hopefully will be able to do the walk. So we're really excited about just that opportunity that we had to be together this past month. And we're just so grateful for everyone that was able to attend. So we thank you so much. Go ahead and then.